All right, everybody, we'll go ahead and call this to order. I appreciate everybody's patience and everyone being able to be here with us this evening. We will begin, as is our tradition, with invocation and followed by Pledge of Allegiance. Father Wiley, our police chaplain, if you'd please lead us in prayer.
Let us pray. Gracious, loving, and almighty God, we give you thanks for the abundant blessings of this life. We thank you for gathering us together here this evening. We thank you for this beautiful city of Goldsboro. Father, we thank you especially tonight for its leaders. We also thank you tonight for all those that you've called to the vocation of the armed services. Father, we ask that you be with all of those at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base and all those who serve this nation. Father, we ask that you give those serving strength and courage to face the conflict that they are currently facing. And Father, we ask that you give their families comfort and peace and bring them all home safely at the end of their mission. All this we ask in the name of your Son, our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, as we move into our agenda, I'll remind everyone, including myself, to please silence your phones and watches and tablets and all of the other things that are with us. And with that, Mrs. Getz, if you please conduct a roll call.
Mayor Gaylor.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Weeks.
Present.
Councilwoman Jones.
Present.
Councilman Boyette.
Present.
Councilwoman Taylor.
Present.
Councilwoman Matthews.
Present.
Councilman White.
Present. All right, all present and accounted for. As I say every single meeting, I appreciate all the work that folks do to be present at these meetings and get these meetings prepared for us. And appreciate council members for being able to put so much time into this as we do. With that, we will move forward with the adoption of the agenda. I've had one request to bring forward on the agenda. That would be to remove item 7.1 from the consent agenda and schedule that for a future meeting when Chief West can be present. There's just some additional questions. And so I would ask, Mr. Livingston, are there any other changes to the agenda with any other walk-on items?
No, sir, Mr. Mayor.
All right. And so with that, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented with the removal of item 7.1. Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to approve the agenda with the modification of removing item 7.1 from the agenda. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will call the vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right, we have an agenda minus 7.1. I'm trying to get signed into the board portal. I thought I was connected to Wi-Fi. I was not. So now I am present and voting.
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, ma'am.
I am still trying to get queued up, just the FYI.
All right, then I will. I'll conduct votes by show of hands, and then in just a little bit, I'll check back in with everyone to make sure that we're good to go. All right, Mr. Livingston, if you would please walk us through item 4.1.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll go down and do the employee of the quarter, supervisor of the quarter presentations at this time. Well, hello, everybody. This is the Employee of the Quarter Award, second quarter fiscal year 2025-2026. And this award has been given to Jennifer Proctor for outstanding achievement. Jennifer Proctor has demonstrated outstanding commitment and excellence in her role as Executive Assistant for Public Utilities Department, consistently going above and beyond her core responsibilities. Jennifer recently completed the Managing Public Records for Local Government Employees class, showcasing her dedication to continuous professional development. This achievement not only enhances her own expertise, but also strengthens our team and city operations through knowledge she brings back to the department. She took the initiative to ensure that all employees, including new team members in distribution and collections, were being compensated correctly for their certifications, promoting fairness and transparency within the organization. This action reflects her unwavering integrity and her commitment to upholding city standards beyond the scope of her regular duties. Additionally, Jennifer prepared next year's operator logs and verified the accuracy of formulas. Despite this not being part of her official job description, she did so to help streamline processes and make everyone's work more efficient, demonstrating her proactive approach and team-focused mindset. Jennifer's efforts set a standard of excellence, making her an invaluable asset to our team. Her professionalism, integrity, and ability to anticipate and meet organizational needs makes her truly deserved recognition as Employee of the Quarter. Jennifer's work ethics and accomplishment reflects well on the City of Goldsboro. Awarded this day, March 2nd, 2026. Bert, you come up, and Jennifer. I'm going to hand you over to our supervisor star now.
Good evening. This is a well-honored. This has been going for 4 years now. We hired Jennifer right after I became Public Utilities Director. A few people retired at the same time, so now I'm scrambling, and she took the call, and she has just set the place on fire. She has done one of the most outstanding jobs that we have out there. One of the hidden folks in public utilities that knows pretty much everything about wastewater, water, compost, and now collections and distribution. So I'm very proud that she has gotten this award. So thank you so much, Jennifer, for what you do. I'll do it tomorrow.
He owns that stuff.
Okay, for our next award is Employee of Goldsboro, the Supervisor of the Quarter Award. I always like giving these awards because it means so much to me and the City Council here and the Mayor to recognize all the accomplishments our team does every day. And but this one is Supervisor of the Quarter, second quarter, fiscal year 25-26, and it is awarded to Bill Peter for outstanding achievement. Buildings and Grounds Superintendent Bill Peter has consistently and selflessly dedicated his time and expertise to supporting departments across the city while effectively addressing a wide range of building maintenance needs. And we do have a lot. On October 7, 2025, he responded promptly to a significant sewer leak at the City Hall, quickly diagnosing the issue, mobilizing his team, and ensuring the area was properly cleaned and restored. Earlier that same day, he and his team relocated large office furniture for Parks and Recreation Department from 2 separate locations to the new offices at the former Edgewood School. He undertook this effort without hesitation, willingly stepping in with his team to complete the task despite numerous ongoing projects already in progress. At this time, his team was actively trimming downtown trees, installing lighting for downtown lights up, and completing modifications to John Street Corral. In addition, they had been finalizing the installation of the new Gold Star and Blue Star memorial signs at Freedom Circle and completed necessary electrical modifications for the City Hall fountain prior to installation. You can blame that one on me. These efforts exemplify a strong commitment to supporting both municipal operations and community initiatives with professionalism, enthusiasm, and determination to enhance the City of Goldsboro. Bill and the Buildings and Ground team consistently respond to emergency situations with efficiency, effectiveness, and reliability. Their exceptional service is also recognized by the Downtown Goldsboro Development Corporation through an award nomination. Bill's work ethic and accomplishments reflect well on himself and the City of Goldsboro. Awarded this day, March 2nd, 2026. Bill. to say. I know you want to say.
Yeah, I'll say something. Bill is a jack of all trades, and not only is he buildings and grounds superintendent, he also has traffic and signs now, so his division's growing. But the thing about buildings and grounds and traffic is no matter what the task is, they respond. And we do a lot of things that are kind of outside of our wheelhouse, and it's just because we can. We have equipment, we have knowledge, we have a lot of skill back there. And it's, Public Works, we're blessed. We have a tremendous group of leaders. We do stuff every day for the whole city, so it's a rewarding place to work, but guys like Bill is what makes it happen.
I'd just like to say one thing. This may reflect on me, has my name on it, but it's our entire team. I couldn't do what I do without the guys that I've got and the girls. We're out there every day getting things done.
You're the star. Well, you got a supporting wife here. That's what makes. I'm going to say something. You're doing a good job.
Somebody's got to do it.
Okay, for our second Supervisor of the Quarter Award, again, second quarter fiscal year 2025-2026, has been awarded to Kenny Talton for outstanding achievement. Kenny is an exceptional leader within the planning department, definitely is, consistently demonstrating professionalism, integrity, and a strong commitment to both his team and the citizens we serve. His in-depth knowledge of planning procedures, zoning regulations, property maintenance standards enables him to provide clear direction and maintain efficient departmental operations. He routinely takes the lead on complex cases such as zoning violations, unsafe structures, property maintenance concerns, ensuring they are thoroughly investigated, properly documented, and handled in accordance with city regulations. Kenny approaches each situation with fairness, consistency, and a solutions-oriented mindset. In addition to his technical expertise, Kenny is a dedicated mentor who invests time in training and supporting of staff. He helps employees understand ordinances, inspection procedures, effective communication practices, strengthening both individual performance and overall team success. His strong customer service skills and collaborative work with other departments further enhance the department's effectiveness. Kenny's leadership, reliability, and commitment to excellence make him an invaluable asset to the city and highly deserving of this award. Kenny's work ethic and accomplishments reflect well on himself and the city of Goldsboro this day, March 2nd, 2026. Mr. Talton. Congratulations, sir. There you go. I'm sure that Kenny would like to say a few words, or obviously April, or both of them maybe. Okay, well, yes, you can. You're a supervisor.
I just love Kenny in our department. He's been great. He is definitely a mentor. He instructs people. He is the go-to in our department, and he has the best customer service skills. So he's the best. Thank you, Kenny.
Thank you.
I'll just ditto what Bill said. I tell you, when you come to work every day and you got a great team to work with, I tell you, it's like that old adage, if you love what you do and the people that you work with, you'll never work a day in your life. So again, thank you to my team, and thank you to the city of Goldsboro.
Mr. Livingston, thank you as always for highlighting strong performers over this last quarter. We always have to ensure that we are promoting what we want to see more of. And, folks of all over the course of their career, but you got to make sure that we highlight when things are going well and what things are going well so that people know what to do more of. And so thank you for the Employee of the Quarter and the Supervisor of the Quarter awards. Next, we will move to item 4.3, ABC distribution presentation. Is Mr. Darnett Arias? If our distinguished ABC Commission Director would come forward, and here, I'll come down to you, and then give us an update on the commission.
Okay. First, let me sign your check.
There you go.
That's
We'll take it.
the most important. Mr. Mayor, council members, I'm glad to be here tonight. And as always, I look forward to working with you all and handing out these checks to our city. Means we're growing. Couple things I'd like to say. You know, we're doing a new
Please, go
store.
ahead.
We're doing a new store out at Rosewood. We closed the store, the shopping center, officially Saturday night. The new store is about 60 days out from completion. Lease ran up, so we're closed there. And when we open, I'll send the invitations out, and I want all the council and you to come by, and any members working in Goldsboro to see the new facility. Modern facility, help on that end of the county. We're also in the process, as you know, building a warehouse complex and an office complex that hadn't been done in about 40 years. So it's in the process, and we look forward to great things, and as we're growing, you'll be getting more of these. And appreciate everything you do. All right.
And then stick around. I'm sure there will be some questions. You remember Latoya?
Oh, yeah.
Stick around just for a second, because I know there are. Let me get the microphone.
Drop that off.
Yeah, exactly. They don't give me a debit card to make deposits. They have to go through finance. So
I got you. So any questions, I'll feel free to answer.
Talk to us a little bit about ALA activities and how folks, if they see things or they have concerns about establishments in their parts of town, how do they get in touch with you? Because you like I'm all for folks enjoying and partaking and doing it in a responsible manner, but I know there are some folks that also have concerns about specific establishments. How should they go about contacting you?
Well, as you know, we have our own law enforcement agency that works closely with the Goldsboro Police Department and the Sheriff's Department. If anybody has complaints, they can reach out to our office at 919-778-7731. Ask for our chief, Jonathan Whitley, or any law enforcement agent present. If they're not there, we'll be glad to take the information down and pass it on to them. I know you can't say certain things because I know they're working on things, so there's been some complaints inside the city that are being addressed and being worked on. But feel free as citizens to call us. We want to be that supplementation to the police department. We also are that supplementation to the state ALE who comes in. As you know, they don't always have an agent here on a daily basis, but we're here usually 6 days a week. So that is where to start, is at our office.
Perfect.
Our law enforcement does try. There's about 250 places in the county and city. They try to inspect them at least twice a year to make sure they have gone in, touched base with these people, dealt with them, gone over the laws and regulations. There's about 60 mixed beverage locations here in Goldsboro where y'all voted in mixed beverage. That's restaurants, hotels, your bars. They try to visit those 2 to 3 times a year and address their needs and look at any issues they may have. So that feel free to reach out. And I know the police department reaches out to us quite a bit, or to our law enforcement, and our law enforcement reaches out to them quite a bit. So it's a hand-in-hand operation. But any citizen, don't hesitate giving us a call. We're open for that. We also offer programs for rehabilitation. You know, we donate money, or we have to by state regulation. So much money goes out to rehabilitation. So that comes out. The distributions come out to the city. So it's not all about just selling liquor. There's a lot of things going on, a lot of programs that we fund and resource. We're glad to be able to do that. Also, I've said this since I've been in the position for the last 3 years. Of course, you've been by my office. Councilmember Boyette's been by my office. But I welcome all of y'all to come by, go on a visit, understand what we do exactly other than just selling liquor. One thing that's fixing to start, if you go on our website, you'll see our grant program is getting ready to start. It kicks off, March 2nd, that's the day, through April, where we give monies out to local organizations in the city and county to help them. So that's just started in the application process.
Can you talk a little bit about what sorts of organizations you look to fund?
The AA, the Boys and Girls Club has been involved in the past. Now you got my mind going blank.
That's all right. That's all right.
Miss Weeks' organization is eligible to apply. What's the one that raises money every year?
United Way.
United Way.
Yep.
They've applied before, so all those are eligible to apply. Any nonprofit organization that needs help, and usually if you read the statute, it needs to be tied somehow to an alcohol or drug rehab situation. That's what they're looking at. And I know year before last, the Boys Club got some, but they did a program for the teenagers with alcohol laws and rehabilitation. But anybody that wants to, this nonprofit, reach out to us and we'll be glad to help. It is a lengthy process to fill this application out because they want to know who's getting it and where the money's going. But we've got a man on staff who'll be more than glad to go over it with the individuals and talk about it, help them fill it out. So that's where we're at on that.
Council, any other comments, questions? And if you would, before you step down from the podium, just the phone number one more time if someone is curious about either reporting something or inquiring about about the grant program that's opening up this month.
Just call the office at 919-778-7731, and we'll be glad to get back to you and go over that program or the law enforcement. And again, my office, since I've been there 3 years now, my office is open. Anybody wants to come visit, the door's open. I'd love to have you come and see how it all operates. A lot of times I will speak to this just a minute, there's a lot of misconceptions that taxpayer money operates the ABC boards in North Carolina, and that's not the way it works. We're self-contained. We have to earn the money. We're always giving it back to the state. There's no taxpayer money funds the ABC boards in North Carolina. And last year, after all the bills were paid and everything in North Carolina, it was about $750 million distributed out to communities in North Carolina and different organizations. It's a lot of money.
Well, and just locally, I know it was approaching 400,000 when you added up the over 3 distributions last year, if memory serves, and I know it was over 350.
Right.
I don't want to quote and get it wrong, but it was a sizable amount of money.
It was, and then also the county gets that. Mount Olive gets it. Anywhere there's an ABC board located gets the distribution, and not only do they get the distribution, they also get, for like example, in Wayne County, a bottle tax. So there's a tax paid on each bottle that's sold, so that's outside money, sales tax, etc. So it's, and then again, like I say, we have to put money into law enforcement. We have to put money into rehab programs. That's automatically required by the state. So.
And for those curious, we have when we set the budget every year, there's an estimated amount that is always pretty spot on that goes into our general budgeting process as well. It's not over and above what we budget annually. We budget for it. It's an integral part of our operations.
And those monies can vary, as you know, based on our operational cost and our expenses. That what you get distributed to you all comes at the bottom line. So we've got to pay our bills first and meet our debts. And that's one thing about the ABC board. We cannot carry any debt unless it's on a building. I don't know if y'all knew that. Buildings, lands, vehicles. But as far as any inventory sitting in those stores, it has to be paid for every 30 days. Light bills, phone bills, water bills, payroll, taxes. So there can't be any outstanding lingering debts.
Council, any other comments, questions?
Mayor, one
Yes,
last
ma'am,
thing.
please.
Can you share the total amount of our distribution?
Your distribution was 102,000 and some change. Where's that check? 564. 102, 564. Okay. Which is a pretty good amount for the city of Goldsboro. Like the mayor just said, it's a little over. We'll go past the 350,000 mark last year.
Yeah.
Probably closer to 400. So anyway, glad we can do it, and we appreciate working with you.
And I hope folks will explore the grant funding opportunity during the window that's coming up right now. So certainly encourage people to explore that and call and ask if they're curious.
Be glad for you too. And once the grant is done, then that goes before our board. The board goes through those, reads them, evaluates them. They're the deciding factor.
Perfect. Okay. Council, anything further? All right.
Thank you
Sir,
for your
thank
time.
you.
Have a good evening.
Good night. All right. Next, we will move to item 4.4. This is a St. Baldrick's Foundation Month proclamation. We will begin with the proclamation, and then we will invite some guests to the podium to introduce themselves and discuss this year's event if they are so inclined. Okay? That sound good? Thumbs up? Nods? All right, perfect. St. Baldrick's Foundation Month proclamation. Whereas every 2 minutes a child is diagnosed with cancer. In the U.S. alone, more children die of childhood cancer than all other diseases combined, yet less than 4% of government research dollars are devoted to childhood cancers. And whereas the Goldsboro Elks, in partnership with UNC Health Wayne and Tillman's Restaurant Equipment and Supplies, will host our city's annual St. Baldrick's Cut for Cures events, offering our community a chance to participate in the fight to find a cure for all childhood cancers. And whereas this year's event will be in honor of Mr. Wyatt Mitchell, a 7-year-old in remission from leukemia who is an example of the strength and resilience it takes to survive and thrive after a cancer diagnosis. And whereas the St. Baldrick's Cuts for Cures event is a community gathering that supports the work of the St. Baldrick's Foundation, the world's largest volunteer-driven fundraising program for childhood cancer research. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Goldsboro City that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim the month of March 2026 as St. Baldrick's Foundation Month in the city of Goldsboro, and encourage all citizens to show their support for the St. Baldrick's Foundation by donating online at stbaldricks.org and attending or participating in our city's annual St. Baldrick's Cuts for Cures event on Saturday, March 21st, 2026, from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Hub in downtown Goldsboro. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the city of Goldsboro, North Carolina, this the 2nd day of March 2026. And if those present would like to come forward, I'll meet you down front. Who wants to go first? Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Way to be voluntold.
I'm Tanya Jarrett. The event is Saturday, March 21st. We invite all of you to come out and participate. It's a great cause. We also have a lot of fun. We have a band that will be performing before and after. We are taking Chevy's at the moment, so please come out and participate.
And if you want to donate, you can go to goldsboroelks.org. We already have a link that'll take you directly to our local event, make it a little easier than having to navigate through the St. Baldrick's Foundation website. Thanks, everyone.
All right. That's it. We'll let everyone get in. Then let's wait. If you can come on over. right, next we'll move to item 4.5, Women's History Month proclamation. Whereas the City of Goldsboro joins communities across the nation in celebrating Women's History Month during the month of March 2026. And whereas Women's History Month traces its origins to the first International Women's Day in 1911 and was established as a national observance in 1987 to honor the countless contributions of women to the growth, prosperity, and character of our nation. And whereas women of diverse backgrounds, cultures, and experiences have shaped the social, economic, political, scientific, and cultural foundations of our country and our state of North Carolina. And whereas the women of Goldsboro have played and continue to play vital roles in strengthening our community through leadership in business, education, healthcare, public service, the arts, military service, entrepreneurship, and civic engagement. And whereas we recognize the achievements of women past and present who have broken barriers, expanded opportunities, and paved the way for future generations. And whereas Women's History Month 2026 provides an opportunity to celebrate the theme designated by the National Women's History Alliance and to reflect upon the progress made toward gender equity while recommitting ourselves to ensuring equal rights and opportunities for all. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Goldsboro City Council does hereby proclaim March 2026 as Women's History Month in the City of Goldsboro and encourage all residents to observe this month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities that honor the contributions of women in our community and throughout our nation. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and affixed the seal of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, this the second day of March 2026. All right.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It is special to. I don't get into my personal history a ton, but it is really, really special to be the grandson of the first woman to serve on this council, to serve with the first black woman to serve on this council, and to now be the mayor of a majority woman council. This is pretty neat how the universe tends to unfold. So I appreciate each and every one of you who have taken time to invest in me in time and energy and spirit and occasionally course corrections. So appreciate that. Now we'll move to item 4.6. Over my strongly stated objections, I'll be asking council for a resolution expressing appreciation for services rendered by Brandon Harper as an employee of the City of Goldsboro for more than 21 years. And you'll quickly see what my stated objection was, because it's not the resolution, it's the retirement. Whereas Brandon Harper retires on March 1st, 2026 as a police sergeant with more than 21 years of service with the City of Goldsboro. And whereas Brandon began his career on December 29th, 2004 as a police officer with the Goldsboro Police Department. And whereas on April 18th, 2012, Brandon was promoted to police corporal with the Goldsboro Police Department. And whereas on April 24th, 2019, Brandon was promoted to police sergeant with the Goldsboro Police Department, where he has served until his retirement. And whereas Brandon has proven himself to be a dedicated and efficient public servant who has gained the admiration and respect of his fellow workers and the citizens of the City of Goldsboro. And whereas the mayor and city council of the City of Goldsboro are desirous on behalf of themselves, city employees, and the citizens of the City of Goldsboro of expressing to Brandon Harper their deep appreciation and gratitude for the services rendered by him to the city over the years. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and the city council of the City of Goldsboro, North Carolina, that we express to Brandon Harper our very best wishes for success, happiness, prosperity, and good health in his future endeavors. This resolution shall be incorporated into the official minutes of the City of Goldsboro and shall be in full force and effect from and after this, the second day of March 2026. Council, this being a resolution, it would need a motion and a second to be incorporated into the minutes.
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to adopt the resolution as presented. If all are we okay to go electronic voting now? Are we all good? If you're able to pop it up. Coincidentally, mine did not. Ah, there we go. I just discovered a shortcut. We're missing one, right?
Mine didn't.
Yours did not. Do you mind just simply stating your position?
Yes.
Yes? All right, perfect. All votes being in the affirmative, motion passes unanimously. Mr. Harper, Sergeant Harper, We appreciate what you have done, and hopefully you have found something better to do than watch the meeting this evening. But if not, we do appreciate your service, and you will sorely, sorely be missed. All right, now we will move to our public hearings. Mr. Livingston, do you have anything to add as I close this tab? Do you have anything to add to the brief on item 5.1, or are we able to call up planning?
No, I think we can call up planning, Mr. Mayor.
All right. He's got to be oathed into this one. All right, Mr. Talton, if you'd please approach the clerk.
Thank you, sir.
And council, as he's doing this, please be reminded this is a special use permit public hearing, and as such, it will be subject to the 4 motions for special use permits after the public hearing is opened and heard and then concluded. So with that, Mr. Talton, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
Tonight, we will be discussing a special use permit request, SU 226, convenience store with fuel sales. This property is located at the southwest corner of the intersection of East US 70 and South NC 111 Highway. Tonight, I was given permission to tell you that Wawa is making this request, and we have with us tonight the developer, Mr. Trey Ball, and we have Mr. Jeremy Wigg with Kimley Horn as a consultant for the project. If you'll follow with me in the presentation, the owner is Mr. Simon Ray Foss. The applicant is Kimley Horn, Planning and Design Consultants. The current zoning for this property is Airport Business Zoning District. It is within Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Noise Overlay Contour, as well as the Accident Potential Zone 1. The existing land use is that the site was formerly operated as Foss's used auto sales. The land use designation is commercial. Again, the applicant's requesting a special use permit to allow for a convenience store with fuel gas sales. The days and hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 24/7, 24 hours, 7 days a week. Employees will be 8 per shift. Parking spaces will be 43 parking spaces, including 3 handicap parking spaces. So again, the applicant requests this permit to construct and operate a convenience store with fuel gas sales located at northeast corner of intersection of East US 70 and South NC 111 Highway. The property again is located in the Airport's Business Zoning District. This district is established to accommodate a limited range of manufacturing, wholesale, and distribution uses that operate in a relatively clean and quiet manner, do not produce continual heavy traffic volumes, and are compatible with neighborhood residential or business district. The minimum lot size is 20,000 square feet. The proposed project is a 6,373 square foot convenience store with 8 fuel pumps, 16 fueling positions, a required NCDOT full access entrance along US Highway 111 South, a right-in, right-out entrance along US Highway 70, and associated on-site utility and parking infrastructure. The existing parcel is approximately 5.41 acres and is proposed to be subdivided into 2 lots. Lot A, approximately 2.33 acres, and Lot B, 3.08 acres, which we'll see in just a few moments on our PowerPoint presentation. The proposed development will occur on Lot A. Again, there will be full access entrance that will be located on the frontage of Lot B with an access road connecting the entrance to Lot A. This access will serve any future development future development of Lot B by others. So with that said, if you will, let's just go straight to our map. Here is an aerial view of the property with US 70 Highway and 111 South. Here's the comprehensive land use plan showing its commercial land use designation. And here's an overhead view of the property and the site plan associated with this special use permit. Please keep in mind, we're just considering the use. We're not going to get into the details tonight of the actual site plan. We'll give you just some tidbits of information that are important as we go through this decision-making process. Again, as you see here, there will be an access, a right in, right out off of US 70 on the eastbound lane. There will also be on Lot B another entrance that will provide access to a future lot here on Lot B, but this access easement will provide cross connectivity to the Wawa convenience store. Again, DOT will be requiring these road improvements. There is no TIA involved with this particular project. Do you have any questions at this time with regards to the location of the store and access entranceways to the site itself?
Councilor,
Yes,
Councilor, are there any questions for staff at this point? As a reminder, our pattern has always been to hear the briefing from staff and then invite the applicant up to come and fill in any unspoken holes right there and things that may have been omitted from the brief. We can ask questions of the applicant at that time. And then after that, we would open the public hearing for general members of the public to be able to come forward and speak on what it is they've heard from both the applicant as well as staff. We close the public hearing and then bring staff back up if there are any additional questions. Are there any questions for staff at this point? All right.
Mayor,
Yes,
at this time, if you don't mind, I'll continue on with the presentation, and we'll see if there's any questions from this point.
I thought that you were passing.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Sure.
Appreciate that. So a little bit more about the proposed roadway improvements. This development proposing a right turn lane leading up to a right in, right out entrance into the site with a 4-inch raised concrete median leading up to Highway 70 intersection. The installation of the right in, right out entrance and the raised concrete median prevents store customers from trying to turn left onto Highway 70. Along Highway 111, the full access entrance will align with the existing entrance across the street. This development will propose converting the existing merging lane to a right lane up to the proposed entrance and remain an emergent lane after the site's entrance. Again, if you have any questions on that, I'll be glad to refer back to the site. The existing parcel is a mostly vacant parcel with some trees, old automobiles for sale, and an existing building once used as a sales office. Adjacent parcels are also zoned airport business and general business, which accommodate commercial development. Properties immediately south of the subject property are also zoned general business. To the rear, the parcel abuts agriculturally zoned property, which is currently being utilized as farmland. If the special use permit is approved, the site will be required to meet development regulations of the city's UDO. In addition, a building permit and final inspection will be required for the upfit of the existing facility to ensure that all life safety codes have been met, as well as our UDO development standards.
Cal,
Yes, sir.
could you mind explaining to the city council what some of those development standards would be?
Absolutely. Let's see. Well, development standards are going to be parking. We will ensure that there are adequate number of parking spaces for the site. Because of the site and where it is located, there is going to be some requirements that we review in order to meet Seymour Johnson Air Force Base's ACUS standards. And ACUS is basically the Air Installation Compatibility Use Zone Reports. The base is particular about this particular space because, again, as we've said before, it is located in the Noise Overlay District and the Accident Potential Zone 1. When it comes to the Accident Potential Zone 1, they're going to ensure that there are properties, they're going to basically concentrate on low density uses in that area. But this particular site, it was a FAR, Florida Area Ratio, of 0.14. Basically, the site must have no more than 55 occupants for the property. As you'll see as we go forward, these parking spaces, there will be no more than, I want to say, 43, 45 parking spaces, including handicap accessibility. And again, Kinley Horn, if I say anything wrong, please bring that out to me when the time is to report. Again, there'll be other development standards with regards to the actual building itself. It does have architectural standards that must be met in accordance with our UDO. We want to ensure that there's proper landscaping to the property or for the property, for other uses that abut it, transitional aesthetic landscape buffers. Other things we want to make sure, again, that we've already discussed about entrances to, off, and on the property. We want to ensure that we mitigate congestion, any traffic concerns. And again, that's why we consult with NCDOT to ensure that their issues have been addressed and resolved as well. These are just some of the development standards, along with a laundry list of UDO standards in our ordinance. If you have any specific questions, I'll be glad to answer those. Okay? And again, we'll address those if the project is approved tonight through the site plan review development process.
You may have already answered it. My concern is the traffic, the parking traffic onto 111. The combustion, I want to make sure that it's safe. The people that are parking, the traffic, the movement of the traffic onto 111, if they're turning right or if they're turning left. Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am. You are. So if you'll follow me here, here is the access entrance off of 111 Highway, north, south. And again, there's an entrance, and I believe this is probably, it's aligning with the Walmart entrance directly across that highway. It aligns with it. It is a rather large, let me see, I'm trying to back up here. Hang on one second. As you look with me a little bit closer, here is the access off of 111. We believe, planning staff believe that, again, this Highway 111 was probably over-engineered at the time, planning for future development along that corridor. It has definitely not developed to meet that maximum use at this time, but it's continuing to develop. We believe that there will be more development along 111 in the next year. The other site access to the property, again, is right here off of 70 on the north or the southwest corner of the intersection. If you'll see here, I believe we have some property owners who are here. I noticed came in, Mr. Glenn Bryan owns a property directly to the west of the property. At this point in time, this right turn lane will be moved westward and will provide a longer deceleration lane to this site. And once again, it will feed all around it. From, again, the main entrance on 70 to the secondary entrance here along 111. I hope that answered your question, Councilwoman Jones. Do I need to clarify in any way?
Kind of, yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get it in my. Yeah.
And Mr. Talton, is
Yes,
for what would be being approved tonight, it is just the categorical use. It is not the site plan.
That is correct. Thank
Anything
you.
that we're seeing for traffic impact, anything like this, is very much just for illustration purposes only.
Correct.
We are not approving. It's great questions. It's certainly questions worth asking. But this right here may look nothing like the end result. Is that correct?
That is correct. However, again, they have
We would
consultants.
approve those at a later date.
That's
The
correct.
site plans have to come back to us, but the question right now is not the site plans. I do just want to very, very clear for all of those watching as well. Right now, we're not approving the whole thing. The question that before council right now is just, can it be used for this purpose or not?
That's right. That's right.
Okay. And then Councilwoman Floyd, back to you.
Again,
And
we'll
so
be.
that means that DOT will have to approve it anyway.
That's right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
All right, okay.
So again, before we finish tonight, again, I'll refer you back to the worksheet, and we'll just want to again make sure that it's completely legitimate for you to start thinking about anything that would adversely affect other adjacent properties or the traffic to the actual site and any other life safety issue that would be pertinent to this particular development. So feel free to, if you have any other questions, I'll be glad to lead you
Thank you.
down that path. You're welcome. All right.
And Councilman, the floor is yours if you had a question.
I don't have a question. I just wanted to pay the planning staff a compliment on this brief was as detailed and as well prepared as any brief I've ever seen, and every question that could have possibly been that I'd have thought of was addressed, and I appreciate the attention to detail, especially the stuff regarding the base's involvement and what was done so far as meeting the square footage or of the property
Yes, sir.
versus the parking ratio.
Yes, sir.
And all that stuff, because this property, as those of us that's been around for a while, the property owner has been before this council many times over the years expressing their dissatisfaction that there wasn't a way to develop that property. And so now that someone's able to finally figure that out, like you said, I expect this whole corner to develop out pretty soon. But thank you to every bit of the effort that was put into that brief. It was very, very good.
Thank you, Councilman Boyd. Yeah, again, it's a team effort, and into a team effort with the developers, Seymour Johnson Air Force Base staff. We were able to sit down and hammer that out because, like you said, at one time this property, there were barriers up for development because of its location that would not allow the use of this property to be proposed as is today. But we were able to work that out, and at this time, possibly it's a good product. Let's see. And make sure I've covered all my bases with you this time. All righty.
And included in the agenda packet for those who are looking at it, on their phones or those on the dais with me, there the letter from the Air Force is included in the packet as an attachment as well. That was one that I was very interested to see because, again, the flight line is something, that flight corridor is something that we have to be so incredibly protective of in this community. And so appreciate y'all working through that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Seymour Johnson, they have an excellent team to work with as well. Kudos to them as well. So staff's evaluation. City staff have no objections to the proposed special use based on the following, as well as the finding of facts for the special use permit. The proposed use is compatible with existing land uses and development patterns along East 70 Highway and 111 South. Number 2, the proposed use is consistent with the city's comprehensive land use plan and comprehensive land use map. 3, according to base officials, the proposed use would be located in the Noise Overlay District and would be compatible with Seymour Johnson's ACUS report, as long as measures to achieve outdoor to indoor noise level reduction of 30 decibels are incorporated into the design and constructions of portions of the proposed convenience store where the public is received, office areas, noise sensitive areas, or where the normal noise area is low. And again, that's just saying, again, because of its location and because of the any kind of sound pollution or sound hazards, if this property is constructed or is developed in the future, it will have to meet these noise attenuation measures at that time. Number 4, lastly, according to base officials, the subject property would be located in the base's accident potential zone based on the square footage of Lot A and the proposed gross square feet of the convenience store. The proposed land use would be compatible with Seymour Johnson's ACUS report because it will not exceed the 0.14 floor to area ratio. Occupancy of the property would be limited, though, to 55 people. As long as the occupancy does not exceed 55, the density is considered compatible for the site. Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you for any questions you might have of staff for the presentation.
Council, any additional questions? Again, this is not our only time to ask staff questions. All right, seeing none, you said the applicant is present. Would y'all like to come forward and fill in any, I believe you'd have to approach the clerk and be sworn in, and then you can come forward, and if there are any gaps in the presentation, you can fill them in. And that will educate both us and the public as to what questions need to be asked.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Councilman, staff. My name is Jeremy Yee with Kim Min Hwan. We are the applicants and engineers for the developer Frontier Development. My address is 4525 Main Street, Suite 1000, Virginia Beach, Virginia. With me today, I have Paymon Nadimi with Wawa and Trey Bell with Frontier Development. This is the third Wawa store, as you know, in the city of Goldsboro, and thank you for the opportunity to come back here in front of you again. Appreciate that. And I want to appreciate staff for working closely with us. Thank you, Kenny. Has been a great working relationship with Kenny and Mark. We worked so hard try to get to this point, and we've been talking to DOT for nearly a year plus, and we have come up with the how to create a site that have a site access that's safe for the public. This is the result of the conversation we have with the DOT. Any question regarding to the site access, I'm more than happy to help answer some of these questions. So I know today we are not talking about the design of it, it's more for the use, but I do want to share with you that when we look at the design, the layout, we make sure that we meet all the zoning requirements, including the parking, landscaping, and building setback, and so on. We believe this use align with the city development goals, and I think we it's with practical service that serving the community here. We would like to ask for your approval for the special use permit, and I don't have anything else to add on what Kenny has presented to you. I'm here.
Council, any comments or questions for the applicant? Hearing none, sir, thank you for being here this evening. It always speaks to an application for the applicant to be present, to be able to answer questions, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, so with that, if there's nothing else, then we will open the public hearing. So with that, friends, we are now opening a public hearing. This is item 5.1 on our agenda, SU 0226, a convenience store with fuel cells, as has been discussed. Is there anyone to come forward and speak on item 5.1? Please. If you would approach the clerk, please.
You want us both to do it?
Yeah.
We're brothers, so I guess it don't matter.
How long do we get to speak, Mayor?
There's not a time limit on the
okay.
during the public
Mayor,
public hearings for special use permits.
Okay.
So.
Good deal. Well, Mayor, council members, good evening. I'm not as smart as my brother, so I won't talk as long, okay? First of all, good evening again. Brother got the piece right next to Mr. Foss's, and I got the other piece over there. My concern is, of course, the corner there needs cleaning up. It needs a little bit of a facelift for some time now, so that would help, I think, the aspects of Goldsboro out. But besides that, what mostly concerned me is the road right now coming in. I don't want to cut ourselves short. I know brother don't want to cut himself short on that road, because we all know in due time, when the DOT gets going, there's always change orders. They might change a little bit here and there, and I just don't want them to cut my entrance out with poles or whatever they do, kind of like they did on Berkeley. I want to have it where it can free to go in and free to go out, I'm sure, but I won't be able to, if I exit, I can go to the outside of the left of 70 when you turn around to come back to west on 70. That's my biggest problem. I may not always want to keep that land. I might want to dispose of it to whatever. So that's the biggest thing right there. And in closing, I wish the city would get up with the DOT. I think the biggest part out there on that 70 would probably be if they could slow that traffic down. That is the biggest thing. And look, it's just not where we're at. It's owned up there. You get off Ashley Street Extension. And if y'all could get with the DOT, they could slow it down. 2 miles is not going to hurt everybody to slow down to a good 35. I think it will save people from the time you get on Ash Street Extension to the time you bar off on 70. I think it will help everybody out, not only drivers, but the businesses in there too. So with that in mind, that's the biggest part I have is right there in front of our land, is be able to get in and get out with, and it's not going to be easy, because I don't know how many people live down 111, but it must be half of Wayne County. But otherwise, that's it. And I thank you for your time.
And sir, if you would please just state your name for the record for the clerk.
Oh yes, Steve Bryan.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. And your brother, and if you would again just begin by stating your name for the minutes.
I will. Glenn Casey Bryan. I live at 4971 US Highway 70 East in Goldsboro. Good evening, Mayor, Council.
Good evening.
This particular project right here, like my brother says, our property has one egress and egress out of, and I did speak with the state, and they are speaking of trying to stop the traffic to get onto Miller's Chapel Road from the 70 egress and egress, if I'm correct, with a 4-inch concrete barrier to a point which would come up probably a little bit past halfway my point of my land. But then again, if they change their mind and want to move it up further, they're going to take away from me. I was raised on 70. I watched Highway 70 go from a 2-lane road in front of my house to what it is today. I have property up and down 70 and 111 and on Sheridan Forest Road. In the mornings, I see traffic backed up beyond McDonald's in the mornings. I mean, stoplight, right on up to 70. Just this morning at 8 o'clock, coming out of the entrance to the Walmart and the AutoZone, what was there? A splattering first thing this morning. And that's just constant. And in front of and they do need to slow the traffic down on all roads just about everywhere, people. But in front of the car lot there and going to 70, that's just about the turn on the 111, 11 South. That's just about the fourth turn at Darlington International Motor Speedway when they hit it. They're running 55, 60 miles an hour, where you're going to have people coming in and out. And how you going to have people that's going to go back on the 70 and hitting that curve, that kind of speeds and what's going on. And then when you do, you're only going to back the traffic up that's trying to get on to 111 because you're going to have people pulling out in front of them. I mean, that's just, like I said, I've raised out there all my life, and I watch it grow and grow more every day. And it's only more and more. I mean, year by year, it's getting worse and worse. And then even in the evenings, I mean, you have backups in the opposite directions. In the mornings from 7 o'clock to 9, It's dangerous out there. And now it's even starting in the evenings from 3:30, 3 o'clock, right? And yes, there's slack times late in the evenings, but that's not going to do with the majority of 3/4 of the day when 70 is busy. Yes, late in the evenings at night, things quieten off. But the majority of the time, I mean, I don't have correct traffic count, but there's no telling how many cars that turn and go up and down 111 in a day's time, probably 25, 30,000 cars, could be more than that. And like I say, that's my concern is down the line is, and even with more growth potential, well, in the mornings, if 111's backed up, then people can try to cut back out and go on to 70. Any way they can to get in and out. People's in a hurry. I reckon to do nothing, it seems like a lot of times.
I'm going to pause you just for a second. Given this one's quasi-judicial, I'm allowed to allow him to speak to his personal experience with what traffic does, not allowed to opine about what would happen in the future, right?
That's correct.
Okay, I
was just going to give a statement after he was done, just
Okay.
to remind council as far as what to consider or not consider from this testimony.
Okay, and again,
Right.
and that's not my rules. That's
Yeah, I understand that.
That's the way that these are written, and so council is advised, and speaker, if you would please, again, you can speak to your personal experiences there. Those are factual. Those are yours, but hypotheticals about how many cars it would add and all these other fun things, that has to come from the traffic impact analysis.
Right, I understand that.
Please,
Yes.
please continue.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, I understand. But like I say, when you get down just like with the state, well, I've developed property where the state come in and said do this. Well, 1 year later, they went back and actually made it worse, where I have put in turn lanes on properties, and then all of a sudden they come back and put a four-way stop there. I've seen things change, and and sometimes it was for the better. Majority of the times it made it worse, I'll be honest. It's just part of the process, I reckon, out here. But I like to, be up front and tell folks, and like I said, if you go to developing even more on that corner, like I said, if you get people backed up, I mean, 70 and 111, either directions you want to go, in and out, you got traffic backed up continuously. And like I said, for them going on to 70, on to 111 off of 70, I watch people pull out and pull around people to swerve in front of them to get right on to 70. I mean, I stand there and witness it with my property and do. And that's only going to get worse because you're going to have people jerking out in front of them or pulling out in front of them. So there's a lot to consider there, safety of the people, a lot of things. And even with my property, it could, if that create a hassle, well, that state may come back in there and say, hey, we're going to do this, and even take away from me more. Even now they're taking, but I'm not complaining about that because they have the right to do that. But if they come back in and harm me even more down the line, it's too late then. That's why I'm speaking now. Okay. Any questions, anybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all
Appreciate
for
it.
listening.
Thank you,
sir.
for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor,
Mr. Lawrence, if you would, please.
I would just remind the council that you can't consider conjecture or what ifs. Only traffic experts can testify as to what could occur or what effect could take place. And since you don't have that expert testimony, you can't consider that type of evidence. You can't consider what he observes now, a factual basis. Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else to come forward and speak for SU 0226, item 5.1 on our agenda? I thought I saw somebody else start to stand up. You would please approach the clerk.
Just a quick question. How many more gas stations does this small town need? That's it. Richard Taylor.
All right, is there anyone else to come forward and speak on SU 226? All right, final call, SU 226. All right, we will close the public. So, council, the four questions, and it's not necessarily about the economics of it. It's not about the business use of it. It's about material endangerment, beneficial use or injuring or beneficial use of adjoining property, about harmony with existing development and general conformity with the city of Goldsboro with the land use plan. Council, are there questions? Are there comments that, or are there questions for staff? Yes, sir.
I do. If that diagram back up, and just so I'm
IT, could you go back to the overall map? IT, could you go back to the overall map of the property?
Apologies for a second. There we go.
Hey, could you go back to that? Just show me where the entrance, the exit and the entrance. That's it.
Here will be a right in, right out off of 70. Across the street, of course, is McCall's Barbecue.
Right.
You're going around 70, going along 111 South. Here's a second point of access to the property, which will be providing access to a future lot and cross connectivity and easement to the site as well.
And then my last thing, could you kind of give me the area where the actual stoplight is on 70?
The intersection?
Yeah. The stoplight is that far up?
Yes, sir.
Kenny, do we have any idea, and this may be a question for the applicant, do we have any idea how firm this site plan layout right here is? I don't want to mislead the public or council on if this is the plan or if this is a plan.
Mayor, I can't speak to that.
Okay.
It could change.
Right.
I'd have to defer back to the...
And we can. I mean, it's correct. I can call back up and all right. And if, with the applicant come back forward, just a very straightforward question because I don't want to mislead council or the public.
Yeah.
Is this the plan that you plan to submit to DOT, or is this a conceptual?
So this is the plan
Okay.
that we've been, and they have seen this. This is the result of the discussion, multiple discussion with DOT. So
Just to get for context for you, sometimes we have folks that come up during a special use permit because, again, what we're voting on tonight is the use, not the actual site plan. So sometimes we have had folks come up with a thing just to aid in understanding,
Absolutely.
and then it is deviated substantially. And then when you do the site plan, you start looking at it and saying, well, this isn't what I was expecting. And so I wanted to know from your perspective on this, do you anticipate this being substantially similar? Is this pretty much the plan if you're able to move into the next stage?
So let me explain further, elaborate further. After this,
and I want to be just as patient as I possibly can, but please, as a courtesy to those around you, please make sure that everyone can hear.
Yep. So after this, let's say we get approval from you, we'll start working on the design of the roadway and the site plan. And that will have to be submitted to DOT for their review. And this is the plan that DOT had looked at and agreed upon. And in our design, we just had to get into a lot more details, including drainage, striping, traffic control, and dimensional grading, many other things that we had to consider in our design.
But you would expect the aerial Google Maps view when this is all said and done to look pretty much like that.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And we have surveyed the property already. So
Wow.
we overlay a Google Earth underneath it so that you can see how it looked like.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Council, did that answer your question, Councilman?
It did. I'm just to be, maybe somebody can make me see it clear, but I'm just a tad bit leery about the safety piece of it with coming off the curve, because I do know that curve comes in and then people do a little California rolls most of the time and they keep going through the light right there. I'm not saying that we shouldn't approve it or whatever. I'm just a little bit leery with the safety aspect of getting on the 111 from that actual access point.
Can I help answer
Yes, please.
Mr. White's question? So I'm not sure you can I go
Yes,
there?
please.
So I'm not sure you can tell along 111.
If you would, please, we'll hand you a microphone because I want to make sure that those watching remotely are able to see.
Can you hear me okay?
And Ron, I'm still within bounds, right? Okay.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep. So Mr. White, on the NC 111, what DOT had asked us to do, if you go out there right now, we call it merge lane. So basically, when you come on off the 70 to 111, you will have to merge to the travel lane on 111, right? So what DOT had asked us to do is to extend that merge lane, basically make it like a travel lane. When you pass our entrance, you will have to merge back to the travel lane.
Gotcha.
So it helped that concern that you just talked about.
I got you.
Yeah.
So the merge point would be after
the entrance.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councilman, I saw your hand up.
I know we're just voting on the use, but it was a good question and a concern, and I have no doubt with Kimley Horn involved and your reputation and DOTs that working together that you'll get that worked out. But one I can't remember when I reviewed this. Is there interconnectivity provided to the Bryan property is going to be interconnectivity option just for my
Talk about like a access connection? Not at this moment, no, not that I know of.
Okay.
Friends, again, I want to be just as courteous as I possibly can, but we do have a meeting to conduct, and we do need to be able to hear. So, thank you. Please go ahead.
That was all, Mr. Mayor. I realize we're just voting on the use tonight.
But since we have the applicant here, it's
Right.
good to get these questions answered. It will help us understand what we need to look for as we get into site plan approval, which will have to come back before council in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Council, any other comments, questions for staff or for the applicant? All right, hearing none. Council, there are four motions four questions that have to be answered in the affirmative for a special use permit to be granted. The first one, I'll just briefly remind council what they are, and for the benefit of the public. The first one would be, would the use materially endanger the public health or safety? The second would be, would the use substantially injure the beneficial use of adjoining or abutting property? The third would be that it would be in harmony with existing development. And the fourth would be that it would be in general conformity with the city of Goldsboro. And so with that, I will entertain a motion on item number 1. I need the help of the gallery. Please do what we can. And again, there are spaces right outside if we need to just step outside. Because I do not want anyone to have to anyway. All right, we'll entertain a motion that the use would or would not materially endanger the public health or safety.
Make a motion that the use will not materially endanger the public health or safety.
Second.
All right, motion's been made and properly seconded that the use would not materially endanger the public health or safety. Is there any debate on that motion? Hearing none, we will call the vote. You can vote electronically. All right, we'll vote by show of hands. As stated, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. All right, we will move to this. Is there a motion that the use would or would not substantially injure the beneficial use of adjoining or abutting property?
Motion to approve, Mr. Mayor.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded that the use would not substantially injure the beneficial use of adjoining or abutting property. Raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right. Number 3, I'll entertain a motion that the use would or would not be within the area in which it is located.
Make a motion in the affirmative.
All right.
Yeah.
Second. All right. Motion's been made and properly seconded that the use would be in harmony, which is within the area in which it is located. We'll vote by. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes.
Is that unanimous?
I believe so. Yes. And then lastly, entertain a motion that the use would or would not be in general conformity with the City of Goldsboro's comprehensive land use plan.
I make a motion that.
So moved. Second. Motion's been made and properly seconded that the use would be in general conformity with the City of Goldsboro's comprehensive land use plan. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right. With that, all four motions having passed in the affirmative, special use permit 0226 is granted. I appreciate everyone's time. The applicant, thank you again for being present this evening. If y'all would like to step out, you're certainly welcome to. That concludes that item. All right, Mr. Towson or Mr. Helmer, would you like to brief us on 5.2?
John.
Oh, this is Jonathan. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, force of habit. Force of habit.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. How's everybody doing?
We'll give just a second for everyone to shuffle so we can all hear you. And as a reminder of anyone that came in after the meeting started, if you are here to comment during the public comment period, please, as respectfully as possible, come forward and notate, or is the list is still outside? Anyone who came in after the start of the meeting who wishes to speak at the public comment period, please, as discreetly as possible, exit and just sign your name on the sign-up sheet for the public comment period. All right, Jonathan, the floor is yours.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Hope everybody's doing well.
Good evening, you too, Jonathan.
So this is an extension from the last council meeting where I came in and set the public hearing for this. I did put together a few slides, handful of slides, just very high level, just to kind of, explain what this is. So just as an introduction, so this manual is for developers and engineers to use to guide them for our engineering standards. The manual covers standards for water, sewer, stormwater piping, grease traps, stormwater management, and cross connection, which is like backflow preventers. Engineering design manual is a common item in most municipalities and should be nothing new to the development community. So just kind of how we got here and where we started. I started putting this together back in July of 2024. And then once we were completed with that, I sent it out to local developers and engineers in September of 2024. And I heard back from 2 of the 3 that we sent it out to, and there were no comments on it. Commission on a special call meeting in January the 29th which it passed unanimously. And I took it to council, like I said, February the 2nd at that meeting to set the public hearing for tonight. I did want to mention, since I mentioned the Planning Commission, I did make 2 minor changes that came out of what I call minor. Sorry. But it came out of the TRC. It's something that I thought was in there. I went back and skimmed it again. I wanted to make sure that it was in there and double checked. I didn't see it. I could have overlooked it. But so 6.8.7.2D is where I changed the line to make sure that each water and for apartment complexes and commercial, we're going to put a master meter out at the road. And that just kind of indicates that anything past that point, the city will not take over for maintenance. And also 6.8.1.c or 1C it's just kind of the same thing, but it's for the sewer, on the sewer side, where we're going to put a manhole at the right of way, and anything past that, the city will not take over for maintenance for apartment complexes and commercial. And then some highlights, again, this kind of covers water, sewer, stormwater, grease trap, stormwater management, and cross connection. And it kind of codifies the processes for forms for our as-builts. That's water, sewer, any public infrastructure that we're taking over, we get what we call red lines as built in the field. So we kind of standardize that process and what we want to see in return, so we can put it all in our GIS. We got mandatory pre-construction, something that we need to get into so we can all be on the same page at the very beginning. And this tells engineers that they're responsible for applying for all permits that need to be, water extension permits, stuff like that, DEQ. And the last thing is what will involve council. We have, like I mentioned before, we have the substantial completion checklist. We'll have a final checklist, which we'll do in office. And then once that's completed, we'll do the what we call the deed of dedication, and we'll bring it to council, get approval. You know, I'll say, hey, you know, this development, all the public infrastructure has been seen by engineering staff, everything passed, we're good to go. At that point, you know, you'll vote on it, pass it. That date is when we start the 1-year warranty period. So that's kind of really quick, high level. Any questions pertaining to that?
This is one of those items that are complex in nature and very technical in language. So, council comments or questions on item 5.2?
I just had one when I was reading through it. That I can't find it right now, and I had it written down in my book, but it's in my office. That does me no good. But it says in here somewhere there's a rule, but there's certain extenuating circumstances that you'll deviate from the rule, but you didn't give any examples.
Yeah,
so I was just trying to see what the examples would have been, i.e., whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a case by case basis. You know, I mean, it may be that you know, so we don't really like allowing ductile iron pipe for sewer mains like we used to do in the past, because the sewer gas will eat the concrete liner up on the inside, which will cause the metal pipe to fail eventually. So, you know, where we may, if it just depends on, I guess, like an extenuating circumstance, it would be depth. You know, like if it's really deep, we're afraid that the structural integrity of PVC will not last over ductile iron. We may make a slight change and allow them to use ductile iron just because of the depth. I mean, just be something small like that. Well, I say small. I mean, it's a big deal, but you know, it could just be something like that. It just depends. It's all situational. It just depends on the situation.
That was my question.
Yeah.
Understood. Council, other comments, questions on 0226? All right, so with that, we will open the public hearing. I am genuinely curious to see how this one gets. Item 5.2, we are now in a public hearing for UDO 0226. It is an ordinance amending the city's Unified Development Ordinance to add section 6.8, the engineering design manual, as briefed just moments ago. Is there anyone wishing to come forward and speak on item 5.2 on our agenda? Second call, anyone wishing to come forward and speak on item 5.2 on our agenda, UDO 0226? Third and final call, anyone wishing to come forward and speak on UDO 0226, item 5.2 on our agenda. Hearing none, we will close the public hearing, and we will go into deliberations. Council, are there any additional comments or questions for staff? All right. So with that, there is a simple majority vote, right? All right. Council, is there a motion to adopt the ordinance as presented?
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, motion's been made and properly seconded to adopt the ordinance amending the City of Goldsboro Unified Development Ordinance to add section 6.8 Engineering Design Manual as presented. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we will vote electronically. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. All right. That being done, I'll tell you what, Council, after the public comment period, we'll then take a quick restroom break, but let's go ahead and do the public comment period if that's all right. Last call, anyone wishing to speak during the public comment period, please make sure that your name is on the list that she's about to bring back into the room.
Speaker is Billy Strickland.
Thank you. Billy Strickland, and I would hope that my substantive time does not start until I've given the preliminaries that's required by the council rules.
Well, hey, start it over. Hey, just pause for a second. Start the timer, and then we'll actually get it right. There we go. Your Honor, please.
Thank you. This is Billy Strickland, River Bend Road, Goldsboro, 27530. All right. First, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you guys for all your support on the gym. Because I only have a limited time, I'm going to do half of it. My wife's going to do the other half. I wanted to alleviate and maybe dispel some of the rumors that I've heard about the gym, or maybe some concerns. One was about pot smoking or the smell of pot around there. I can't help that people come to my courtroom all the time and smell like that. But we don't tolerate it there. If we've ever had any problems with it, we call the police officers, which we've never had. I understand there were some concerns about lights being left on and the place not being taken care of. I can promise you, with 10, make sure that the place is taken care of and put up tidy. Trash place. When we first got there, that place and the neighborhood was not necessarily all that great, and you can talk to anybody that lives around there. That since the gym has been there, not only does the gym keep clean, but now all the neighbors are keeping the yards clean. They're revitalizing their houses. They're taking up all the trash. I do understand there was concerns about a kerosene heater. Don't blame you there. However, if you think about it objectively from Mr. Ashford's point of view, the staff left, the lights were turned out, the internet was turned off, and the heat was turned off as far as he knew. Only 2 months later of still working in the, which I would say a good tenant, not even complaining about working in the cold, comes in and finds out it was just something wrong, and the mayor actually got that fixed. So I'd like to point out, in almost 15 years, I am a founding member. I'm standing up here as an individual. I'm not a member on the board. I'm not standing up here as an elected official. It's just me, Billy Strickland, that supports them. In almost 15 years, not one time has a police officer ever been called to that building. Not one time. And we've had functions with over 300 people at times, and still no issues, no problems. As to the questions that the council may have about the sale, originally we were in Herman Park for $1. Then we were told that Herman Park was going to be remodeled. Let's move somewhere else. At the same time, the Coley building came up, and we said, okay, that would be great. Mayor Allen allowed us to do that. Then after Allen died, Adam and Councilmember Ham and Broadway, they were the ones that brought up the rent stuff. But then later on past that, Mayor Gaylor said something about us purchasing the building. Mr. Lawrence and I were working on a purchase contract. This was several years ago. And about in the middle of us doing that is when there were some asbestos problems, so city members were brought into the building, so it was all stopped on the purchase at that time. Fast forward past all of that, once the asbestos was abated, city council people moved several months ago. I was approached again about an asset liquidation plan that included getting rid of possibly the Coley building, and I said, fine, we'll do that. Well, then all of a sudden the next thing was, what about, let's do a substation. I'll stop on that, which I told Mr. Ashford to hold on to the money, the rent money, so we could actually have extra money. I will say we do have the rent money, and we do have insurance money, but we were saving that. The plan with the substation has been met with open arms, and we really like the idea. We just hope that when the plan comes together, it's like a football game. A football game requires 100 yards to play the game, not 50 yards. And we're just hoping that when they come back together with this plan, that we get a whole 100 yards to be able to do the gym.
Let me stop you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your time and consideration.
If you would just state your name. We'll assume your address is the same.
That sounds great. It is.
Okay.
So, my name is Jennifer Strickland, and I want to thank you all for letting us be here tonight. First of all, it's a huge thank you to y'all because we have been in front of the City Council off and on over the last 15 years. This project with the Ashford Boxing Gym has been a passion of ours, and we are grateful for the past support and hopeful for the continued support. One of the things that we are concerned about is when we came out of the Herman Park building, it was with Herman Park Center was going to be remodeled. That has not happened, and we have lost a beloved resource to our city. We're hoping that doesn't happen with the Coley building because originally the plan was to demolish the building. We don't want to see that happen. We want to see it continue to grow and serve the community. So one of the things that I'm here to do tonight is introduce you to all these wonderful people that are part of the Ashford Boxing Gym right now and to share a couple of success stories. We all want to see Goldsboro grow. All of you ran for city council because you have something to offer this amazing city. So does Ashford Boxing. One of our students that has come through our group is Keandre Hall, and he will tell you that he was the first to graduate in his home. He actually took some continuing education classes, and though he's ran into a few troubles along the way since he's gotten out of high school, the hard work, responsibility, and dedication that he learned at Ashford Boxing have always brought him back. We don't always only reach the inner city student children, we also reach our airmen. We have Stage Hicks and Gabriel Acevedo, who you'll see a video pop up later on social media, that were both stationed at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. One of them even gives a testimony that the boxing gym is what helped him find his way in life, because he had found that he was floundering and he was lost. You're going to hear stories where dozens of the students that have come through the boxing gym over the past 15 years have received their high school diploma. Shaheem Ashford is a high school graduate, a junior Olympian, has a 5-0 professional boxing record right now, and much like Jaron Reed, who came out of Goldsboro, brings people from all across Goldsboro together supporting him. He started inside of Ashford, a boxing gym. And then I want to share with you Jesse. Jesse is our first college graduate. He will be graduating from ECU in May, and you'll see a testimony from Jesse about what Ashford Boxing Gym meant to him as a child of a single mother trying to make it in the inner city of Goldsboro. We have more success stories to come. They're out here in your audience right now. If you want to continue to grow Goldsboro and make it a place where our students can live and thrive and make Goldsboro better, then we just ask you to please consider talk to Steve as you're moving forward with the plans for the gym. Because what you're going to find out is if you shrink that gym, you're going to lose a lot of opportunities. We need this gym to grow. And I really appreciate y'all's time. Thank you so much. And if you guys would join us in giving them a round of applause for their help, we'd appreciate it.
Please, the council, I don't think anybody else is going to speak on the half.
They're welcome to.
No, sir. If it please council, I was going to let them leave, so not to disrupt you.
Sure.
Did you want us? Go ahead.
Our next speaker is Richard Taylor.
Okay.
Richard Taylor. And I am here also to echo the sentiments of the Honorable Judge Strickland and his lovely wife, Jennifer Strickland, concerning Ashford Boxing Gym. I don't have all the facts, but I know that there are some rumblings and some conversations about the city or parks usurping or putting a substation in the building. Once again, I don't have all the facts, but what I do know is the great Yeshua of Nazareth said, "That which you have done to the least of these, you have also done to me." And when I think of that scripture, I think of Steve Ashford. You know, in the grand scheme of things, he and the people who come to his gym are the least of these. You know, they don't have the capital like the ABC guy who came in earlier to give the city money. You know, he doesn't have the funds like the gas station of New Hope and Colabest Road to give the city $5 million to fix the infrastructure in exchange for them putting the gas station there. They don't have that. You know, they don't have the capital like Kinkley and Horn and the guy the consultant. They don't have the means to hire a consultant to tell you how great the program is, how beneficial it is to the community. But what they do have is the human capital, the human currency that is essential to keep this city progressing in the right direction. They already told you about the several success stories. This is probably only 1/100 of the lives that Ashford has touched. Personally, he's touched me. I know members of the community, not just kids, not just black, white, airmen who go to that gym and patronize him because of his professionalism, because what it means, the children have the structure that they need. And so putting a substation there, you know, it's almost like a Trojan horse, in my opinion, because once the police get there, it's not Ashford's Boxing Gym. It's the police substation. You know, that's how the community is going to look at it. And let's be honest, the police in certain demographics doesn't have the best relationship with certain members of the community. And you can't get that by piggybacking off something that the community is already doing. No, you have to do that outside of the community. And so while we don't have the money to bribe you, we do have the results of 15 years. So I leave you with Proverbs 15 and 27. Those who are greedy of gain bring trouble to their own household, but he who hates a bribe will live.
Is there anyone? Is there anyone else?
No, sir.
All right.
Can I see my hand for the gym? He takes off my jacket.
No, ma'am. Yeah, unless, sorry, again, to speak at the public comment period, you sign up before the meeting. That's why I announced a couple of different times during the meeting. But all is well, all is well. Again, this is not an item that is on the agenda this evening. With that, council, let's take a 6-minute nature break as we always do at the 7 o'clock hour. Yes, ma'am.
But I thought we do allow up until we close the public comment for people to.
In the past, it's been until we opened it. Yeah, in the past, it's been until we opened it. So let's take a 6-minute nature break. We'll stand in recess until 7:20, and then we'll come back and proceed with our agenda.
And
So
they
this
have the
is
same.
reoccurring?
We've used them from time to time, and they've used us. They sometimes provide services for other towns. So it models that same agreement that they've had with other towns.
We don't have this capability though.
Consent agenda items 7.2 through 7.10 as presented.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded. Madam Clerk, would you please conduct a roll call vote?
Mayor Gaylor?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Weeks?
Yes.
Councilwoman Jones?
Yes.
Councilman Boyette?
Yes.
Councilwoman Taylor?
Yes.
Councilwoman Matthews? Councilman White?
Yes.
All right. All having voted in the affirmative, the consent agenda items 7.2 through 7.10 are approved. There is no old business, so we will now move to item number 9 on the agenda. Mr. Livingston, is there any brief, or do we simply invite Ms. Taylor up to the microphone?
I think we can invite Ms. Taylor to give the brief, sir.
All right. Mrs. Taylor, seeing you sitting back there for the last 2 hours. Oh.
Good evening, Council. And Mayor Gaylor, I was not supposed to be the one in front of you this week, maybe the next council meeting, but I'm here on behalf of Jaron Reed Enterprises. Unfortunately, his administrative assistant couldn't fly in today, but I am here to formally request the city's partnership in hosting the community-wide celebration on this coming Saturday, March 7th, to honor our hometown Super Bowl champion, Jaron Reed. So it's designed pretty much to celebrate not only him as an athlete and as a champion, but of course him as a community champion as well, being a huge part of the community, giving back annual football camps, turkey drives, giving back to the community, things of that sort. So our request is to waive the municipal fees. So request the waiver of all application and permit fees associated with the event, the hub, Freedom Field, and also the street closure for Center to Chestnut and I always can remember it, but today I can't remember it. Center to Chestnut and then Spruce to Center. So both of the roundabouts. We pretty much modeled it after Freedom Fest, Juneteenth Festival. Also, insurance coverage, we request that the event be designed as a city-sponsored special event, as well as just talking about the benefits, the economic boost for downtown Goldsboro. We do plan in the application to have it open to social district. That way downtown Goldsboro businesses can benefit from it as well. Civic branding, community safety as well, operating under the city's umbrella for safety protocols managed by local law enforcement and EMS, providing that high standard of care for our citizens. And this is on behalf of the Chief Operating Officer, Jonathan Seitz from Jaron Reed Enterprises. Also, we wanted to ask for sponsorship as well. So I think this was the big thing. And so sponsorship would include travel, also entertainment, DJ, and that totals out to $3,366.35. So again, that includes, and also bouncy houses. So the Triangle Party Rentals, which is also a local owned business as well. That is the bouncy houses for the kids. That total is $859.54. The entertainment, as far as just DJ, all other entertainment is donated to the event. Everyone else said that they are fine with no fee. $1,000. Travel would be $1,206.81. And then decorations, including a banner, would total out to $300. So totaling $3,366.35. I'm sorry, this is super small. That's why I keep looking. But yeah. And so that was the ask. And this was all sent over in the paperwork.
Ms. Taylor, the what we have in front of us is just the one pager that was from Mr. Sykes.
Okay.
That was just outlining categoricals.
Okay.
Hearing your numbers is the first time that we've actually been able to hear the numbers. My concerns are always around setting precedent. This is a one-off thing. And I certainly support doing something for Jaron. And if we are capping the event at $3,400, as an NTE, as a not to exceed, I can get behind that. I'm not trying to speak against it in any way, but I do just want to be very clear for those that are watching or council members. I do not want to set the precedent that we are going to be able to start coming out for every single event. This is a truly unique circumstance where that we are trying to do the good work of highlighting someone who came from Goldsboro, High School, and is setting an example, for youth in our community to this day, continues to come back to this community. Was also asked earlier today about travel expenses. I would remind folks that he does not live here. Fortunately, he would be coming from Atlanta, as I understand it. He would not be traveling all the way from Seattle. But if you tried to book an airline ticket 10 days, or I guess now less than 7 days out from an event, Seattle to Raleigh is a heck of a lot more expensive than Atlanta to Raleigh. So, as expensive as travel is, it is at least less than it could have been. So yeah, those are my initial briefs or initial concerns or questions, just to put those out out in space. Do you foresee the rentals being done by J. Reed Enterprises and then us reimbursing, or would you need the city to actually handle the accounting of going out and procuring those rentals?
And that was a question that I was trying to ask right before I walked up. I don't, because I knew that was probably going to be a question. I'm not 100% at liberty to answer that on John's behalf or Jaron's behalf, or their administrative officer's behalf. I don't see that necessarily being a problem, but I don't want to say yes and then it be something completely different. I think the anticipation was come and ask for the expenses so we can get that out of the way. But I don't want to say no, they can't go ahead and do it and then be reimbursed.
I think it would, and Catherine, please give me a strong head shake or head nod. I think it would make more sense for J. Reed Enterprises to handle their business, procure what they want to procure. We would be, passing a resolution to support the event with a not to exceed amount of $3,400. Y'all handle it. I think is that reasonable?
Okay. And so what would be needed is, of course, invoices, receipts, things like that, and it will be okay.
Mr. Livingston, what am I forgetting? I'm not the one who actually understands.
I think as long as it's stated that you sponsor the event not to exceed the $3,400 in repayable back due upon receipts, then I think you're covering all your bases. And it is an exceptional moment when you have a Super Bowl champion, plus he won the college national championship and all those other things, and it is a community-wide event, so I think the public purpose is there.
It's certainly not a precedent that I would want to set. We don't have the funding to fix streets and fund every event, but this to me feels unique and substantial enough that would justify it. Council, I've done a lot of talking. I am but one vote when it comes down to it. Thoughts, feedback, where are we?
I have a couple of questions. Are you going to have beverage trucks and food trucks and other vendors, and is it free for them to attend, or
Yes.
are they paying a fee to
No, they are not.
participate?
I'm sorry for cutting you off. So it was just offered to economical boost, no fee at all. This was something that our committee sat down and we did try to discuss, because we were thinking maybe this could go into, because again, Jaron pays for his football camps, turkey drives, everything out of pocket. We were thinking if we did a vendor fee, that it could go back into the camps and those initiatives, but Jaron is a giver. He's just like, let people come out and just enjoy themselves. So all food trucks, all vendors, no fee is going to be required for them to set up, but we did set a limit to how many. So it's just like any other festival. We cut off the date, so no one can just come out and set up. They had to talk to us prior to, and so that has been cut off since then.
Will you go through the expenses with me again?
Yes. For Triangle Party rentals, $859.54. DJ expenses, $1,000 flat. Travel, $1,206.81. And decoration and banner, $150 each, so $300 total. So that totaled out to $3,366.35.
Anything further? Council, comments, questions? All right. Is there a motion to, well, I guess there would need to, because we have the street closures. How will we handle that first? Council, the street closure, and again, it's just from Chestnut to Spruce.
Spruce.
Chestnut to Spruce. It's the part right there across from the hub. So, council, is there a motion to approve the street closure permit as presented?
So moved.
All right, motion has been made and properly seconded twice to approve the street permit or the street closure permit application as presented. Is there any debate? Hearing none, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right, that piece is resolved. Yes, sir.
We'll also need a separate motion on it being a city-sponsored event so that our insurance will pick it up.
Getting there right now. Perfect.
For the
Sorry.
insurance to pick
We're
us
good.
up,
I'm
we
getting
need
there.
a separate motion as a city-sponsored event. Okay, just make sure that's a separate.
And I'm getting ready to do this one right now. And Catherine, I need you to give me a head shake or a head nod, okay? Council, at this time, I would entertain a motion to approve a city sponsorship for this event for a cash amount not to exceed $3,400 and to approve the event being covered under our city event insurance policy.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second? And there's a second. Motion having been made and properly seconded, is there any debate on that? Hearing none. I'll pause just for a second. Mr. Lawrence, any feedback?
No, I'm good on this one. I'm sorry. I'm already talking about the other one.
Oh, good.
On that one?
No, that's a good thing. That means I'm halfway
Good
doing
on that motion.
halfway
Yeah.
running a decent meeting. All right. Is there any further debate? Hearing none, we will vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. All right. We have insurance. We have sponsorship. We have a date. We have time. You have Jaron. Now we just have to hope for safe travels.
We have third and final one, too. That's going to
Did
be.
we have one for sponsorship? We had one for street closure.
We had street closure. And then in the second one, there was insurance as well as sponsorship
Did
dollars.
that sponsorship say not to exceed?
Yeah.
Sorry, because I'm over here talking. I apologize. Okay.
Is that to assume that we're waiving the fees as well in
The
there?
fee, the waiver of municipal fees
Yeah.
was another issue. So you need, if you're gonna waive the municipal fees, does that go along with?
That was requested.
Sponsored event?
That was
Or is
requested
gonna
in
be
the
separate?
permit. Council would entertain a motion to Mr. Lawrence. All right. Council would entertain a motion to waive any permit-related fees for this event.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second? All right. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. All right. again, council, this one is a bit of an abnormal thing. You know, even something on the street closure, just again for full transparency, normally it's a 60-day application period. You don't do a permit for a thing that hasn't happened yet, so you don't necessarily get a street closure application out before a Super Bowl. But in trying to be timely and responsive for this, I appreciate council's willingness to consider this. Anything further?
I just want to personally, on behalf of the family, on behalf of Jaron, invite the city council. And I know, Mayor, we have spoken. I know you may not be able to be there, but we would definitely love for each and every last one of you to be there, to be on stage, welcome remarks. We're going to start at 12, so 12 to 4 for those who may be listening, 12 p.m. To 4 p.m. And we would really love for you all to be there. Jaron will be there. I've had that question 10,000 times. He will be present in the city, obviously. So we do invite you all to come and celebrate. He's super excited, and one thing for the city, he absolutely loves this place. He loves to be home. He sneaks in all the time. People just don't know it, but he loves to be here and to give back to his community. So I just wanted to say thank you on behalf of Jaron, his mom, his brother, the whole family, and the J. Reed Enterprises.
Do you want to say the reason you're up here?
Sure, I guess. I'm just one of the organizers.
Okay.
I try to keep it that way. No,
right.
I am one of the organizers. I am part of the family as well. We are really, really close cousins, but I just try to keep it professional all the time.
Roger.
I do. But I'm super, super proud. The family is super proud of him. And as I said, that's why I gave the backstory of him giving back all the time, because I do see the hard work he puts in behind closed doors that no one else really sees besides the people who are really close to him. So he definitely deserves this, and I'm very, very grateful that you all approved this. So we're super excited. You guys will see me again really, really soon. I hope you know what for. And so for the citizens, they will not approve this unless it was for something like this. So I don't want anybody to just come up and say, hey, I want to do X, Y, and Z. So, yes, but thank you so much.
KT, thank you for all you do in the city as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good night.
You as well.
All right. Mr. Livingston, we'll move to item 9.2.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have Jonathan here to give the brief on that.
Good evening again, everybody. So back in October of 2024, the city got awarded $500,000 to do a pilot study at the wastewater treatment plant for PFAS. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the scientific name, so we're just going to call it the forever chemical. So CDM Smith, who's doing the pilot study, this is a mandate that has come down from the federal government, so everybody's having to do this. CDM Smith is kind of they're at the forefront of this whole thing, and so they wanted to do this pilot study here with the city of Goldsboro. They have applied for an additional $500,000, which got awarded, and that's what this is for. So this is going to extend the study. There's a couple of treatments that they're doing that they're not happy with the results. So there's more treatments that's getting invented, I guess is the right word, daily on this stuff, because like I said, it is a federal mandate, and we are mandated to do it. All communities are. So there's more people putting time and effort towards it. So they're going to bring in some of these other treatments. They're going to run through them, see what works best for us in our system. I did want to mention in the offer and acceptance, which I didn't provide, but there is a $20,000 closing fee associated with this. Typically, DWI, DEQ, they do an admin fee, and that's taken off the top. I did talk to Catherine a few minutes ago, and this will have to be paid before we get a disbursement, which I think she said it would come out of the utility fund. Yeah. So I did want to mention that while I was going through, be transparent.
$500,000 costing you $20,000 is still pretty decent math.
Yeah.
So I guess we can come up with that.
Okay.
So that has to be upfront cash, so will that need to be a budget adjustment that will need to come before council? Okay, so that will be next meeting as part of your departmental, okay, perfect, all right. Not to put you on the spot, but the city of Goldsboro has been very successful in the last 30 days or so of being awarded money for specifically our water, the water side of what we're doing on. Why is that? What have we done well that puts us in the, or what have we done extremely poorly that has made it so that we're eligible for these grant funds?
Yeah, I think it's just, we're one of a handful of communities that CDM Smith is working with on these pilot studies, and I think that, I think they provided some really good results according to the study. Obviously there's more data that needs to be gathered, but I just think that, we're kind of at the forefront along with CDM Smith on this stuff. And, I just think as a community, we bode really well on these applications. And I think this was actually grant money that was given to us, $33 million. We haven't seen the offer and acceptance on it yet, so I'm not sure all the parameters that goes into that. I think we're still 30, 60 days away on seeing that stuff. But I think that's more geared towards the construction side. This is the study and can be used for engineering and design. Which still a little ways to go on the study, but I just think as a system and as a community, we just do really well on applications.
Well, what I will opine is that over the last 2 years, this council has been intentional about setting dominoes up that could gain momentum. Our asset inventory, we would not have even been eligible if council would not approve the expenditure for that asset inventory. There are other things like that put wheels in motion, and I just want to thank council and reassure council that these things do not happen in isolation. It is momentum. It is things having to stack in an organized manner over the course of years that allow you to be in a position to receive $33 million and then a $500,000 on top. So
yeah, I know it seems like we study, but these funding agencies, they want to see these studies. They want to see the data to back up what they're lending or giving money for. So it is helpful.
And we also made, I think, a smart decision with the litigation and joining the class action lawsuit. So we've got another, it's right around $3 million, I think, right now that we've gotten in that funding pot there that will help with the water plant.
Well, and again, we committed to the people that regardless, we were going to invest in the infrastructure necessary to protect our citizens from PFAS and to be able to be a leader in it. And so thank you for continuing that commitment. So council, there's a resolution in front of us that now that my iPad has gone dead, I can no longer see, but I'm sure it is there. For item 9.2, is there a motion to approve the resolution as presented?
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to approve the resolution as presented. We'll vote by show of hands. All in favor, please show your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am. No, it came back on. I thought it had died. It's down to 9%, so it's no longer staying lit on. But thank you for the offer. All right, that concludes the general business of our meeting. We do have a substantial closed session item that we will get to momentarily. Mr. Livingston, your city manager's report.
Yeah, I just got a couple things, Mr. Mayor. It's been a long time coming, but we finally got our authorization to go ahead and move forward with Herman Park demolition. So we'll be meeting with our procurement staff and getting those bids in. Hopefully this summer we'll be able to take that down or sooner, but that's well on its way. And that's as you know, that's a really important parcel or a location in this. So we need to be thinking about, what we're going to do with that in the future. We have people that are interested in possibly talking to us about purchasing that particular area or purchasing that corner. And we also have future plans for a community center there. So what are we going to do there? So I think it's worthy of a discussion. Secondly, I know that the City Council has been really forward-thinking and trying to get protective services for the city, and thank you for taking care of that in the consent agenda. We did reach out to them. They can be set up in less than 30 days, so I just wanted you to know that. Hopefully by the end of this month, we will have them in place and ready to go. And that's it, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. All right, council members, we will begin, as is our tradition, it's the first meeting of the month, so we'll begin with the councilwoman from District 1. Councilwoman, the floor is yours.
Well, as always, I want to thank the city staff for what a great job you're doing. And I really appreciate you. I do have one item, and that is GWTA. We'll be getting out 8 buses soon, and they will look like the blue buses that we have, and they will be servicing the urban areas. Also, if you need a ride to the polls, you can do a dial a ride to GWTA. That number is 736-1374.
Thank you. Councilman, floor is yours.
I'd just like to say congratulations again to those of our employees that were recognized for their extraordinary efforts tonight. And thank you, as always, to all of our hardworking city employees. You're all valued and appreciated, and this city could not run without each and every one of you. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman, floor is yours.
Okay, I have a few things tonight. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is our comprehensive plan. I know we're getting close to finalizing the comp plan, and with that being said, I just want to throw it out there that I'm interested in starting the conversation about doing a full rewrite of our UDO. I think the last time that we actually did that was back in 2005, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? And I think because we have done the comp plan, that a lot of times now's the time, if we're going to do it, to start talking about it. So next thing, District 3 has always had a monthly neighborhood watch meeting excuse me, at the T.C. Coley Center since before I was on council. And so now, since everyone's moved over, Parks and Rec have moved over to the Peachtree Parks and Rec Center, I'll call it, we're having our meetings there, first Wednesday of every month at 5:30. So being that that facility is located in District 5, I spoke with Councilwoman Weeks, and we would like to say that we want to collaborate on the neighborhood watch meeting for District 3 and District 5 now. So I just want to put it out there that in the near future you'll be getting more information, but if anyone wants to come, that we'll have a community police officer there who can hear your concerns on crime in your neighborhoods, and we'll be there every first Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Next thing is, I want to thank Captain Head with the Goldsboro Police Department for coming out to our monthly meeting in Lincoln Homes last week. We had a very good meeting, and I was excited about all the things that we're doing and how we're going to work together with the Goldsboro Housing Authority to make the Housing Authority properties and the residents have a better place to live. Okay, so the last thing that I want to talk about is the T.C. Coley Center. So being that the T.C. Coley Center is in District 3, it's extra super important to me. I know for the past 15 years that Ashford's Boxing Gym has been working there, but I'm going to say that when I was young, a little kid, and I used to go to the Boys and Girls Club, in town you had 2 places that you went. You either went to the club or you went to the center. And so I'm almost 50. That the T.C. Coley Center has been around for everyone for a long time, and that is an important place. It has become, it's got a lot of repairs that are needed, and so I look forward to these conversations that I'm having, that we're all having, about making the T.C. Coley Center into something great like it once was. I know a lot of people have been saying substation, but in this day and time, we hear a lot about community policing. So I just want to throw it out there. How about if we say not a substation, but a community police center? Somewhere where we can have a collaborative, accessible space, where we can foster the partnership between the law enforcement and the residents. A lot of times when communities have these community police stations or community police centers, they're located within or near neighborhoods that have high crime rates, which where the T.C. Coley Center is located at, that area does have a high crime rate. True to what Judge Strickland was saying when he was here earlier, the neighborhood has improved tremendously in the past few years, but we still are in the hub of crime in the city. So I just want to kind of throw it out there that that I think that we all support the idea of bringing the community and the police together and making our residents and especially our children not be in fear of the police. So as for Ashford's Boxing Gym, I have not one but two children that attend that gym. So I know that it has done really great things. I don't want anyone to get up here and say that the city is trying to harm the gym, because we are not. So last of all, I just want to know that everyone to know that I totally support Ashford's Boxing Gym, and I totally support being able to have some kind of community police center in Goldsboro where we can bring our police officers and our residents, our children together so that we can continue to work on our crime rate and we can just have a better city. And I think this is a really good step. So I just want to dispel that myth that people are saying that we're going to come in and try to shut Ashford's Boxing Gym down, because that's not our intention. So that's it.
Thank you, Councilman. Mayor Pro Tem, the floor is yours.
I had 3 events that I attended on behalf of the council and the mayor, and I just wanted to mention those briefly. First of all, I was honored to be able to give out the highest civilian award betrayed by Congress, and that was the gold medal replica to Corporal Guy Clifton Parker's family, who's known for his famous barbecue sauce still being sold in the city. So that was just an amazing event. And then also congratulations to Dr. Edward Croom and the University of Mount Olive College, celebrating 75 years. So I was honored to attend that on behalf of the city as well. And then the last thing was the first joint ROTC ball for Wayne County school students. And so I honor all the staff and the Wayne County Board of Education and everyone who participated in putting that together. I want to encourage everybody to get out and vote tomorrow. Your voice needs to be heard, so get out and vote. And then lastly, I want to speak right now to 3 women who have impacted my life in ways that they will never know for National Women's History Month. First, I want to look to my left and say to Councilman Brandy Matthews, every bit of work that you have done in our community with the nonprofit that you work with, from the blessing boxes on to second chances, I honor you and you inspire me. And so I want to say I'm grateful to you for that. I want to look to the 1st District, to Councilwoman Hiawatha, and I had to laugh a while ago when you did it, because the mayor gave me one assignment at that event, and that was to introduce Councilwoman Hiawatha Jones. And I got up there in front of the crowd, got nervous, and I messed it up. I introduced her as Councilwoman Hiawatha Weeks. And so I just want to tell you that I love you and I honor you. I thank you for all the phone calls, but most importantly is this city never has to doubt that that is a woman of prayer and a woman of God. And so I thank you for how you hold me accountable and you pour into me spiritually. And then also to Councilwoman Taylor. Man, I love your compassion and your love for this city. Your smile is so contagious, and I just love your emotion. You're totally sold out to the city. So I just wanted to say I honor you three women, and Miss Laura, we could not do what we do without you. So I honor all of you for March for National Women's History Month. So I'm grateful for you.
Councilwoman, floor is yours.
Just one quick thing, want to remind all the women in the city and the county and surrounding areas, why not, to come and join us for our annual Women's History Month photo shoot that's going to happen this Saturday at 11 a.m. at the City Hall steps. The attire is denim and white. So right after the photo shoot, be prepared for us to walk down to the hub to celebrate our very own Jaren Reed. So again, everyone is invited. All ladies come out this Saturday, 11 a.m., City Hall steps. The attire is denim and white.
Thank you. Councilman, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just got two things. One, praying for our men and women who are overseas fighting for our freedom, even though it seems like we're over here relaxing, but it's truly for us as well. So my prayers go out to the brothers and sisters there. I only got one regret. Every time stuff jump off like this, I get the itch to go back and get some, you know. So I'm praying for them. And then lastly, congratulations to the Lady Cougars who won tonight. So they'll be going to ECU to play in the regionals, and if they win the regionals on Saturday at 6 o'clock, then they'll be playing in the state championship game.
Oh, girls.
Awesome stuff.
Put Jaren in there. Put Jaren in there.
So just a couple of things, and I will try to be quick. But on Sunday, I got to attend St. Mark's for their 100th anniversary celebration, and just another amazing pillar of our community. It's such a privilege to be able to go and shed and elevate messages and shed, just try to shed in my own way, you know, positive light to these positive organizations that are doing everything they can do to try and uplift the community. And it's a really fun story that that one of the bishops who spoke said was that St. Mark's used to be, or well, still is, but used to be the church that would go down to parts of town where you weren't supposed to go and get whoever was drunk or hungover or whatever else on Sunday morning. They drag them into church. And after a few weeks or a few months, they start to see changes in those folks because they understood that the person was more powerful than the demon inside of them. And I just thought that was a absolutely brilliant testimony to the origins and the continued work of that church. So I greatly appreciate being invited and being blessed with the opportunity to shed light on their good work. Next, I want to thank Councilman White and Mr. Livingston for joining me at the Goldsboro Housing Authority Annual Action Plan public hearing. As usual, they have a really robust plan for what they want to do in the future, and that public hearing, I do believe, has been posted on their Facebook page or website now, if I'm not mistaken. It was a public session, and it turned into an hour of kind of Q&A and planning and just kind of discussing as a city, what do we want to look like as their leadership is evolving and coming into its new CEO, and then also the new rules and regulations that are coming down from HUD. Right now they maintain about 1,200 units inside the city of Goldsboro. They're one of the largest residential operators in the city of Goldsboro, and we need them to be strong. The city benefits when they increase the bar every day, and I certainly expect them and hope that they will be able to do so. And I look forward to the city being able to work together with them, more than we ever have in the past, to be able to achieve that mission, because it certainly does raise the bar for every single person. Council, as we move into our next few meetings, you already know we also have some pretty heavy lifts. We got to talk about what's going to happen with the Herman Park Center property. We got to talk about our animal ordinance. We got to talk about the noise ordinance. We got to talk about to the TC Coley building. I want to encourage council to talk to each other. What are you thinking on these things? What are you feeling on these things? Go back to Matt. Go back to me. Where are you on these different issues? What are your concerns? What are the things that you want to see come out of it, because we want to make sure that once something gets to this dais, that it has been properly worked and properly resolved. We don't want to. I use a bunch of metaphors with Matt. I know he gets sick and tired of it, but one of them is I don't want to serve half-baked cakes. You got to make sure that something is properly constructed before you put it on the plate. And I want to make sure that to the best of our ability we are, while also providing ample opportunity for conversation. So sometimes you have to put something up there to get feedback, but then you take it back and you get feedback and you try to resolve it and make it better. Lastly, an absolutely terrible way to wake up on a Monday morning is to see a news brief from U.S. Air Force Central Command that 3 F-15Es have been shot down over the skies of Kuwait in an apparent friendly fire accident. What I will say, because there's still a lot of information that is not public, and I don't know a ton of information, but what I do know is that according to the release, all 6 aviators that were involved in those jets did make it safely to the ground and were safely recovered and are in stable condition. Why this matters here is because the F-15E community is a tight-knit community. The U.S. Air Force only has a handful of bases that operate F-15Es, and they all train through Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. So that means at some point, those aviators most likely came down our streets and walked through our base and probably stayed in housing somewhere around here. And so what I would just encourage everyone to do is remember that this city is unique in that we very much are arm in arm with folks that are going downrange and doing things that we don't even know about and don't fully understand. But the people, the spouses, the families that are staying right here, be an arm, reach out to them. Our friends at Seymour, our Military Affairs Committee through the Chamber do excellent work. But if you have someone living next door to you and all of a sudden you see that one of them isn't around right now, you may just want to pop your head over and just say hello and just let them know you're thinking about and praying for them as your faith may dictate for you to do. But we wish those 6 aviators a safe return to their lodging, and then hopefully a safe return to the skies in the near future. We certainly want the best for all of them. So with that, concludes my comments. Council, we do have a matter of potential litigation as well as receiving receiving information from our attorney that should be protected by attorney-client privilege. So with that, I would entertain a motion to go into closed session for 2 reasons. 1 is potential litigation, and 2 is to receive information that is privileged under attorney-client privilege.
So moved.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to go into closed session for the stated reasons. Is there any debate? Hearing none, all in favor, please vote by show of hands. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right. Please join in the entry room in just a couple of minutes. You are when we're back on.
Supposed to be texting me. Go ahead.
All right, we're open. All right, council, we are returned to open session. At this time, I would entertain a motion to amend the agenda to add an item coming from closed session, which would be an interlocal agreement between the city of Goldsboro and the town of Eureka.
So moved.
All right, motion's been made and properly seconded to amend the agenda to add the interlocal agreement as a motion or as an item coming from closed session. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll call the vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. All right, we have added this agenda item to the agenda. And so now council would entertain a motion to approve the interlocal agreement between the city of Goldsboro and the town of Eureka as presented by the manager.
So moved.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to approve the interlocal agreement as presented by the manager. Is there any debate? Hearing none, we'll call the vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes unanimously. All right, no further items to come before council this evening. Would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly seconded to adjourn. There's no debate on a motion to adjourn. We'll vote by show of hands. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, same sign. Seeing none, motion passes. We stand adjourned.